Welcome to the Harjit and Prayer Show with your host, Harjit and Prayer.
Hey, Harjit, how's it going, man?
Hey, Prayer. That's going, man. It's busy, busy, busy.
Yep.
Life is busy. Lots of different things going on. Personal, work. Oh my God. Can't even begin to say it. So, but I
It's a good
still
thing.
keep a positive spirit,
Yeah,
laugh it out, whatever. But yeah.
it's a good thing you're stuck at home so that you have time to do all that stuff.
Well, some of it, like especially when it involves cross-border issues,
hmm Sure.
And yeah, I can talk about that a little bit later. But so I think, hey, so what we want to do this show was it's just a quick show. We want to like basically just tell people that we're still alive, we're still here, we still think about everybody. We
hmm
want to say hello,
Yep.
and I know a bunch of you have reached out to us, either through Twitter or Facebook and various other channels and said, "Hey, when are you guys doing another show? We miss you," and things like that. So thank you for that. And we didn't realize we were missed, but it's nice. So hey, we don't have a lot to say this in this show, but definitely I think reach out to us and again, if you are the same folks that we mentioned here, that let us know what you want us to talk about. We don't have to be technical. We don't have to talk Microsofty things,
hmm
or you know, hey, if there's some topic you want us to focus on, we can do that.
Yeah.
So
We can even bring in guest speakers. For
yes,
example, if you're trying to figure out how to set up some kind of thing to monitor squirrels entering your attic, um,
and
I'm not going to
that's
say
a
anything.
real thing too.
Yeah, we're not going to get into details, but
Yeah.
I
Not
know
gonna mention
somebody.
names, but yes, if you want to talk about your uh,
Problems.
squirrel cams and owl cams, we can do that.
It wasn't an owl cam. It was just a speaker making owl noises.
Oh, was that what it is? Okay.
Yes, to scare the squirrels out of the attic. But we'll talk about that some other time. Yeah, lots of
Oh,
stuff. It's not me. It's somebody that I know that
I know.
I'm just watching this happen, and I'm like, holy cow, this is crazy stuff. Florida's a weird state. Some
It
weird.
is. It is definitely a weird state.
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm
But
privy to a lot of these things, so it makes your day though. Seriously, you know, when you have a rough day and your life is really like going 100 miles an hour, and then when you look at stuff like that, you just sit back and laugh it off for a while, and then that's cool. That's cool.
yep, yep.
So,
Yeah. So.
anyways, so I was mentioning about the cross-border issues, and you know, I'm in Vermont, and the border is only like 30 minutes from my house, and
mm,
before COVID, I was making you know trips on weekends or every other weekend and stuff like that to Montreal because it was so close, and and but since then borders are closed, and you can cross, but we have been able to because I'm a dual citizen. I'm Canadian citizen as well. So, within reason, I would say that, if you have, hey, I'm going in because I need to deliver this or I need to pick up somebody and so on and so forth. And, they kind of like get on an edge a little bit, and stuff like that and let you
mhm.
through and you come back. And then you get calls from the Canadian Health Department for the next 14 days. And even though you tell them you came back, that kind of a thing. Because they have a 14-day quarantine thing.
Okay.
So what's interesting is that my youngest daughter ended up in a nasty car crash late last week,
hmm
and which involved a hospital emergency visit and stuff like that, and trying to get through the border was very challenging. It was like, yeah, no, it was really interesting to see that border agents always seem to forget their compassion and their common sense and their humanity. It almost feels like when they are recruited, they applied for the position, they got recruited and sent to boot camp
Hmm.
to do their training. And, at boot camp, they said, hey, all those feelings that you have, you need to stick it out the door because you're not going to have that anymore going forward, because it seems like to be that way. And for them to tell us that, no, she's in an emergency with, and all that stuff, that's not an emergency. And, she can, if she can go to school here, she can deal with it herself, to that point. You're like, wait a minute, yeah, aren't you like, don't you even have any kind of like compassion or like understanding? Like, if this was your family member, I'm sure you wouldn't be saying that or doing it this way, right?
Hmm.
So very frustrating and a long, to say, and then to have to try to deal with, the medical issues and the insurances, and then the autos thing, and where's the car? Like,
Right.
where is it located, and how are they going to repair it? And it's my so a lot of headaches. So if anybody's has cross border things like that, and if you need some expertise, you know, reach out and I can try to guide you
Hmm.
on through my experiences.
But your daughter's out of the hospital, right?
She's out of the hospital. She was out of the hospital. Yeah, I think she was in there for about 9 or 10 hours that day, till about 2 in the morning. And we had a relative who was able to drive over 3 hours to go see her and help her out, but then she was stopped at the hospital and said, nope, due to COVID plans, we can't, COVID regulations, we can't let you come in. And so, long story short, they had to get a hotel room, all that fun stuff, and then picked up my daughter at 2 a.m. And then, she's now with them, but she's not out of the woods. She still has, issues from the, obviously some injuries and
Hmm.
pain and stuff like that. So we're dealing with that stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just what my point was that I wasn't trying to talk about the that stuff. I'm just trying to talk about the complexities, dealing with you know two countries when everything's on hold, and you just have this sense of total loss of control. And especially as a parent, like you just like you can't do anything. You can't handle anything. You don't have any control anymore. It's like you feel helpless.
Hmm.
And that just like, if it doesn't mess anybody up like that, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So
And you couldn't have taken a boat because then the Coast Guard would have gotten you. Because Canada has a Coast Guard and they have a Twitter account
yeah,
and
they
Instagram.
use
So,
canoes,
hmm,
kayaks.
yeah, they got some new boats in their fleet.
Yeah,
So,
it is. Yeah.
adv-
So it's
so,
fun times,
hmm,
and I know you and me and many others are longing to travel, and to because for us, traveling and going to some of these conferences or events has been the highlights, so that we can rekindle and meet each other. And so we know everybody who's listening to us is in the same boat as,
hmm,
technically, as us.
yep,
But we're in it for a long haul. So
yeah. We haven't really done anything as far as traveling
mhm.
at all. And just recently, I just took a day off and I went to a very, very quiet beach. And
Oh,
I was like, oh, this is so nice. I was meditating for like an hour.
oh my God.
And I'm like, whoa, that was intense. But yeah, like it's funny because the media, they have videos and pictures of these beaches that they're like super crowded and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like the beach that I was at, there was like
nothing.
nobody there. Like the birds were there, and the fish stuck in the tide pool were there. There's like nobody around. If somebody was walking, they'd be more than 6 feet away.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it was a nice getaway. I was nervous. I was like, oh man, I don't know what it's gonna be like, but it
yeah,
was it was good.
yeah. My wife and I went for a walk last weekend. There's a they call it a pond. It used to be a pond back in the day, but I think what we heard is that it's big. It's a lake now. It's like, and it's about 3 miles around. Like if you actually
Oh.
walk around it.
Hmm.
But I think what they did is that over the years they filled it. They filled it and became this lake from a pond. And
Hmm.
so we went for a walk and stuff, and everybody was really good. I mean, when as soon as we saw people coming from the other direction or something, you quickly slipped on your mask, and
Hmm.
just it's a courtesy, it's your safety and all that stuff too.
Yeah,
And they
absolutely.
did the same, and then you took it off, and then you walked again into the woods, and whatever. And yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, speaking of mask, it's almost like, remember how I enjoyed buying a lot of those battery chargers, and you always give me crap for that, like
Hmm.
Anchor battery chargers. Seems like masks are now one of those things. It's like, it's become like, what kind of cool mask can I buy? So I'll
Or
search
make.
on. Oh, make, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I have a friend actually, a local friend here, and she makes masks, and once in a while I order a few from her. She's very cheap and all that stuff, and so that's really nice. But you can get some online, some really neat ones, and not all of them are great.
Hmm.
So it's like a trial and error kind of a thing. So you order one from this company and one from that company and all that, and then you're like, this one was crap. Okay, oh, this one's pretty good. Okay, and given that I wear glasses, my God, the
Hmm.
fog.
Oh, sure.
So you got to get the nose piece and all that. And hey, one trick I learned actually, and it actually works, is that before you wear a mask, especially if you have glasses, is to go rinse your glasses with soap, right?
Hmm.
And then just lightly rinse it off. Like you don't want to like rub it completely off. And then when you wear it, it actually like eliminates the whole fog thing. It's something to do with the the film of the soap that stays
Sure.
on your.
I don't know if you ever gone skiing and stuff, but this kind of like the same thing there. There's special, you can get them as wipes or a spray,
Okay,
just you put it on the ski goggles,
okay.
and it's same thing. It helps to lessen the fog. And when you're skiing, it's a big problem because it can freeze.
Oh,
Uh,
right, right,
so
yes.
that's yeah, so that's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I've also heard of just using your spit,
Oh,
which I wouldn't do that, but
no, no. That will just make things more blurry.
yeah, and you'd probably get people sick. So
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, a lot. So yeah, those things are almost like my daughter, my oldest daughter. She one day she had these packages that came in. I'm like, what the hell? She says, oh, these all on my mask. I'm like, what do you mean? She says, well, she says they've become like it's almost like buying underwear. It's one of those things. Like,
wow,
think about that. Think about that. You know,
yeah,
you
that's
know.
an industry that didn't exist a year ago.
It didn't exist, and I'm looking at places that they never used to make this, and now all of a sudden, wait, but you were selling bags, and now you're making masks, or you were
Hmm.
selling like a lotion or something like body products, and now you're making it's interesting. Like everybody has got into it. If you go to Etsy.com, holy cow, it's filled. It's
That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Anyways,
our neighbor um made us made all of us masks that have held up like really, really well. But like she had the sewing machine out and she was just like for days and days and days making masks for people back in March.
yeah,
And not even selling them, just giving them away to whoever needed them. So that was
yeah,
like at the time you couldn't buy anything. So that was cool that, she was willing to just, give them out to people that needed it
yeah.
and stuff like
My
that.
my place of work actually gave out while supplies last, three cloth masks for essential workers. I fell under that category or whatever. So I go pick them up and stuff, and they're all white, all of them. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh. One I hate wearing white mask. It's like I like black or some other color and stuff. Okay, so I ordered a tie-dye kit from Amazon that came in yesterday. So I'm gonna try to see if I can just color it or play around with it and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Cool.
Yeah, just mess around, just change it up.
There's some interesting devices that have come out too, like basically like helmets that completely seal you off from the outside.
So many.
Which and the only way that the air can come in is through a vent that goes through this HEPA filter, and so there's
Yeah,
no way you can be. And it has a fan to ventilate your exhaust air out so it doesn't
yeah,
fog up. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It
yeah.
was only like $100, and I'm like, oh, I
No,
that
you don't want that.
like that would be so funny to just walk around in that, just for
Yeah,
the joke aspect of it.
yeah, that would
But
be fun.
yeah,
Anyway,
I didn't do
hey,
it.
by the way, you look really good in that new look of yours.
Oh,
That,
thank you.
that beard, I like that.
I just
Yeah.
got tired of it.
I was actually I had a similar
Hmm.
just until 2 days ago on Sunday. I had to shave it off, and I really hate shaving. That's my problem, and so I'll just grow it out for like sometimes a week and a half or so, and it'll grow like yours, exactly like just that much. And my wife just hates it. She
Hmm.
hates me having any facial hair and stuff and whatever. So
Got it.
and so if it wasn't, otherwise I would just keep it because I think I like having a beard because it makes
Hmm.
me look more, I don't know, matured or older or that kind of thing. It changes your look. Definitely changes your look.
Hmm.
So yeah, probably the next show is something I'll probably have. But,
Uh, yeah, one day I'll completely shave it off, but I'm not ready to do that yet.
oh
But
man, that's gonna. Oh my god.
you've never seen me without facial hair,
No, no.
so
I think I've seen you with like a goatee and like,
hmm,
right? So yeah.
sure.
Do you know Christopher Turner from
No,
Texas?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
So he was an MVP. Now he works for Microsoft and all that. And I've always known him to have full beard. Like, you know, one day, just recently, he posted a picture. He completely shaved up. I didn't know. I didn't even know. I just ignored. Like, I didn't even think it was. And then somebody, I said, wait, what? That's him? Like, night and day. Like, if he walked like in front of me, like, and even said hello to me, I would not know who it is. I would be like, oh, okay, hey, hi, how are you?
Hmm.
But if he had his beard, I would recognize him from like, 100 feet away.
Gotcha.
That is so freaky. Yeah. So,
Yep.
and, speaking of, beard and mustache and stuff, and one of the things when I was growing up in Malaysia, you know, all the guys, it was really cool to actually grow a mustache. It was like the thing, you had puberty and all that, and after that, it's like everybody's growing mustache, not necessarily beards, but mustache for sure, and
Hmm.
whatever. And then a friend of mine and me, we ended up working at a fast food place, and one of the requirements was we had to shave.
Oh
So,
man.
so we both started the same day at the same shift and all that, and we're both at our house, and we shaved it off, and we didn't even dare look at ourselves. It was we looked so feminine. It just like we felt so weird. We're like, oh my god, like, you know, we laughed all the way to that place. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
I cut this off like a little bit at a time. Um, just so that it wouldn't be drastic. But even doing that, I'm like, whoa, man, like that looks so different.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then like the final bit, I'm like, wow, that looks so different.
yeah.
So I'm glad. I was so tired of it. I didn't like it anymore. I'm like, so why do I have it?
It was
So
long. Yeah,
hmm, it was
yeah,
long. Had
yeah.
to blow dry it every day,
Oh
and
my God.
it was ridiculous. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to do this every day.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
my dad, so my dad had a beard, about like this long or whatever.
wow.
And I don't know whether you can see the camera, but you would never know because what he did is that as a Sikh, so you had to keep everything neat and stuff, right? So some of them would just leave it loose, like you had before and stuff like that. But he would put some kind of like this special made gel, kind of like black, you know, and he would like in the mornings, he will use a brush and he'll brush it, and all that stuff, and then he has this almost like a rope, and long rope, and then he starts rolling it, from the bottom up, and then get to the chin, like it's all like nice and neat, and then it's tucked in back here, and then the the rope, like he ties it up in his head, then he ties his turban, right? So he had a
Okay.
turban, but the beard was like, like this, like
Oh my gosh.
you know,
Hmm.
and you're like, oh my god, and then and at the end of the day, every day, then he comes back and he pulls that out and undo it, and the next day shower and clean it, and it's like, oh my god, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah, some people are into it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. I think we don't have a lot to say, and we don't want to talk
No.
anything technical this time. So,
Hmm.
we just want to say hello and let people know we're still here and we're still thinking of everybody, and definitely reach out, because so now's the opportunity to actually connect with us and be on our show if you want to be, hey, get involved and talk about stuff or present something or whatever, be our guest.
Sure.
We'll be glad to have you and we'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything else to say, or?
I have nothing to say.
All right, so let's end this. So
Cool.
until next time, which will be really, really soon, we
Yep.
promise.
Hmm.
I'm Harjit, and you'll find me on Twitter as at Hoorge, Hoorge.
And I am Prayer. I forgot
The
what is it?
IT Jedi.
Oh, thank you. On Instagram, you can find me at the IT Jedi and as the IT Jedi on Twitter as well. I think I might change that too. I don't know.
No, not again.
Gotta mix it up. Gotta keep people on their feet.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bork, bork, bork.